Let's now discuss the product rule. To multiply like bases with exponents, keep the base and add the exponents together. So x is our base in this term and x is our base in this term. So we can multiply these terms by adding their respective exponents. So x to a power of m times x to a power of n would allow us to simplify it to just one base instead of two. And we do that by adding the exponents together, m plus n. What would this look like with a few values plugged in? 5 to a power of 2 times 5 to a power of 6 is equal to 5 to the power of 2 plus 6, our two exponents. 2 plus 6 would give us 8. If we had 7 to a power of negative 3 times 7 to a power of 5, even though this exponent is negative, since we're multiplying like bases, we still want to add the exponents. So negative 3 plus 5 would give us positive 2. So in this case, even though we have a negative exponent, you do not have to move it to the opposite side of the fraction line. You can still multiply these bases by adding the exponents when the exponents are negative. Negative or positive doesn't affect what you do as a result. So let's walk through an example like this where we have coefficients as well. 4x squared y cubed times negative 2x y to the fourth times z. Step 1, multiply the coefficients. So we multiply 4 times negative 2 to give us negative 8. We then, step 2, multiply the like terms by adding the exponents. So that means regardless of what variables are inside each parentheses, when you're multiplying them, for the variables, you only multiply the variables that are the same by adding their exponents. So x and x are like terms. So x squared times x is equal to x to the 2 plus 1, 2. And when it's not shown, that's a power of 1. So that gives us x to the third. Then we have y to a power of 3 times y to a power of 4, which gives us y to a power of 3 plus 4, which is 7. And now in this monomial, we don't have z, but in this one we do. So that just leaves us with z to a power of 1, which is just z. So that leaves us with the answer, negative 8 times x to the third, y to the seventh, z. Now let's have you do a few practice questions. Find the product. Question number 1, a to the negative 9 times a to the fourth. Question number 2, x to the fourth y squared times x to the negative 3 y z to the second. And question number 3, negative 5 x to the sixth y to the negative 2 times 2 x to the negative 3 y to the seventh. Pause the video, answer this question, and then press play when you are ready to begin. Question number 1, step 1, multiply the like terms, a, by adding the exponents, negative 9 and positive 4. Negative 9 plus 4 is equal to negative 5. And since we have a negative exponent, we want to move this term from the numerator to the denominator. So step 2, move the term with a negative exponent to the opposite side of the fraction line, and then make the exponent positive, step 3. So the final answer becomes 1 over a to the fifth. Add the exponents, negative exponent, so you move that to the opposite side. Question number 2, we add x to the fourth y squared times x to the negative 3 y z squared. Step 1, multiply the like terms by adding the exponents. So we'll multiply the x's, we'll multiply the y's, and then we only have one z. So the x's, x to the fourth times x to the negative 3 is equal to x to the 4 minus 3, which is 1. So we just wind up with x. We multiply our y's, y to a power of 2 times y to a power of 1 is equal to y to a power of 2 plus 1, which is 3. We do not have a z term in this expression, but we have one over here. So we just bring this down since we're multiplying all of these terms. We're multiplying this times the product here. So our final answer is x times y to the third times z squared. Question number 3, negative 5 x to the 6 y to the negative 2 times 2 x to the negative 3 y to the 7th. Step 1, multiply the coefficients. Negative 5 times 2 is equal to negative 10. Step 2, multiply the like terms by adding the exponents. So we multiply our x's and then we'll multiply our y's. So for our x's, x to the 6 times x to the negative 3 is equal to x to the 6 minus 3. Remember, positive 6 plus a negative is the same as just subtracting it. So x to the 6 minus 3 is equal to the x to the 3. And then lastly, the y. Y to a negative 2 times y to the 7th is equal to y to the negative 2 plus 7, which gives us our final answer of negative 10 x to the third times y to the 5th.